Hi guys, thanks for watching. If you like this lesson, please subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of lessons and performances, and I'm going to continue to put as much content as I can that will help other people or just be entertaining. Teaching about diminished chords. Basically, they're just minor thirds. Minor third interval on the guitar is 3 frets apart. It's like on the bottom string, if you were to just fret the notes of the diminished chord, like arpeggiate them on just one string, the bottom would be 1, 3, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19. So now moving up strings, it's going to be 1, 3, move down a string, 2, 5, move down a string, 3, 6, move down a string, 4, 7, down a string. Since these are tuned differently on the guitar, when you move down to the B string, it's not going to be 5, 8, it's going to be 6, 9, then 7, 10. So 10, 7, 9, 6, 7, 4, 6, 3, 5, 2, 3, 1. So you one fingering to play it all in position that I like. It's pretty easy to grab. 7, 10, 8, 11. Move down a string, 9 with your middle finger. Then jump up to 7 on the next string. So you should be on the G string on the 7th fret with your index, then move up with your pinky, 10, down to the B string, 9, into the high E, 7, 10, so 10, and that'll end you. So you should end in the same position that you did on that first one. But it doesn't have as low of a range as the first one. The first one has a super low range. So coming back down, it's 10 on the high E string, and then 7, move down to the B string, 9, 10 on the G string, 7 on the G string, 9 on the D string, 11 on the A string, down to 8, down to 10 on the low E string, and then 7. 10, 7, move down, 9, move down, 10, 7, move down, 9, 11, 8, 10, 7. So once you get comfortable with the fingerings for both those types of arpeggios, you can build them up in your vocabulary and knowledge of just different ideas that you like to use by doing, like using patterns with them. Make different symmetrical patterns with them. So go up 4, go up 4 notes in it, and then start at the next note up. those little patterns. Like here, you can come down on the G string and play up play up 10 on the G string, the fourth string down on the guitar, and then go down to 9 on the B string, and then 7, but push through all of them with your pick, and like just rake down them, and play each note, and rest on the next string, and then come up on the last one, so, and move them up in minor thirds. That's the same pattern, just when I get to the top, I'm just moving down a fret to give it that little mysterious type of sound. So there's two different types of diminished scales. Now that we've done the arpeggio you saw in those two different positions, that's just the arpeggio. There's half step, whole step diminished, and whole step, half step. So starting from the bottom, half step, whole step. So it's a half step, so it's 1 fret apart. So it's 1, 2, and then whole step, which is a whole step is just 2 half steps if you're not familiar with it already. So you go from 2 to 4 after that. So the notes would be, on the bottom string would be 1st, 2nd, and then 4th fret. And then once you get to the 4th fret, go up to the 5th. So 1, 2, 4, 5. And then it's the same pattern on every string. And once you get to 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, you go down to 2 and repeat it. Go down a string to the A string, to the 2nd fret on the A string. So on the low E string, 1, 2, 4, 5. On the A string, 2, 3, 5, 6. And the next string, 3, 4, 6, 7. And then 4, 5, 7, 8. Down to the B string. 6, 7, 9, 10. Down to the high E string. 7, 8, 10, 11. So you can see. So starting on the high E string and coming down, it would be 11, 10, 8, 7, 10, 9, 7, 6, down to the G string, 8, 7, 5, 4, 7, 6, 4, 3, 6, 5, 3, 2, 5, 4, 2, 1. What fingering you want to use just really depends on what sound you want to make. If you want to make a legato sound, like a connection between the notes, you can hammer on to 1, 2, and then slide from 4 to 5. So, like, you could hammer on the first 2, 1, 2, and then pick the next 2. pick the first two, like going down, coming back down. You could pick the first two and then slide, and that'll be like da da ba ba da 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 da. To give you a little bit of, that'll give you a little bit of your personality, however you want to just make it sound a little bit different. So you got different kinds of patterns you can use. 4 up, or use 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. 3 notes, and then move to the next highest note. So it makes a good, it makes a good exercise for your technique, your picking, and then just coming up with ideas. Because if you start throwing notes from the diminished scale in there, you can. That's how you get those, like what I was playing before. When I come down, 10, 9, 7, up to 10, 10 on the G string, 9 on the B string, 7, up to 10, and then go down a fret to 9. On the high E. Sorry, let's make it symmetrical. Move down 3 frets. So you get 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7, 6. So, it having all the same fingering becomes super useful when you can shut your mind off and just be creative with it. So that was like a bunch of half-whole step diminished. But I really like the way, if you just play a diminished chord, whole half diminished. So the fingering for that, the frets, start with the bottom E string, 2, 4, 5, then move down a string, 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 5, and then move down a string, and it's 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, then 2, 3, 5, then slide down a fret. It's 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. So 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. 2, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. Starting from the top, 4, 2, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 3, 1. Then 5, 3, 2, 5, 4, 2. So I'm picking the first one and then pulling off from 2 to 1 on the high E string, and then picking the first one on the next string down, the 4, and then pulling off from 3 to 1. So 4, 2, 1, pull off, 4, pick, pull off from 2 to 1, and then pick 4 on the B string, and then pull off from 3 to 1, and then pick 4 on the G string, and then pull off from 2 to 1. And then pick 4 on the D string, and pull off from 3 to 1. And then pick 5 and pull off from 3 to 2. And then pick 5 and pull off from 4 to 2. And that's the diminished chord that you use right on here's a, yeah, Coltrane used to use all these different types of patterns. He's real famous for using these types of tonal like patterns. They sound amazing when you use them over some types of harmonies. And you can use them all over different types of chords. Even if they don't work, you can just force them over there. If you just like get used at home with the sound, then you'll be able to come up with a lot of creative ideas with them. Whether they work or whether they don't work and they're just like passing tension so that you can resolve it and create like more of a peaceful sound, and then it's like, it's like those resolutions. So 1, 2, 1, 3 on the low E, and then 2, 4 on A, and then it's the same pattern again, but you're going to go 3 on the low E, up to 2, 4 again, and then catch one note higher, 3 on the D string. So you have 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3. And then you're just going to repeat that over and over, moving up and up. So 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, move up, 2, 4, move up, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3, 5, and then move up, 4, 3, 5, 4, and then 3, 5, 4, 6, and then 5, 4, 6, 5, should be 5, but this string is not tuned the same, so we're going to go up to 6. So now 4, 6, 6, 8, 4, 6, 6, 8, 6, 6, 8, 7, 6, 8, 7, 9. Coming down, 9, 7, 8, 6, 7, down a string, 8, 6, 6, down a string. 8 on the B string, down to 6, down to 6 on the G string, down to 4, and then back up to the B string, 6, 6 on the G string, down to 4 on the G string, 5 on the D string, back to G, 6, 4, down, 5, 3. So it's the same pattern. another good one to use is 1, 3, 2, 4, and then 4. So 1, 3, move down a string, 2, 4. So 1, 3, 2, 4, and then 4, 4 on the low E, up to 1 on the A string, 5, and then 2 on the D string. So 5 on the low E, 1 on A, 5th fret on A, 2nd fret on the D string. So where we ended 2nd fret, we're going to go down 2, 4 on the A string, up to 3, 5 on the D string, back down to 5th fret on the A string, 5, move down to 2 on the D string, then 6 on the D string, down to 3 on the G string, move down to 3 on the D string, so 3 on the D string, up to 5 on the D string, up to 4 on the G string, up to 6, move down to 6 on the D string, then 3 on the G string, 7 on the G string, 5 on the B string, so end with 5 on the B string, so once you get to 5 on the B string, move down to the G string and go 4, 6, and then slide down 1 string and go 6, 8. So 4, 6 on the G string, 6, 8 on the B string, and then back to 6, 6, six, 8, down to 7 on the G string, 5 on the B string, 5, 9 on the B string, 6 on the high E string, down to 6 on the B string, 8, and then 7 on the high E string, up to 9. So it's the same pattern until you get to 5 on the B string. Then it changes to 4, 6, move down to B string, 6, 8, and then 6, 6, oh, sorry, 4, 6, 6, 8, and then 7, 5, 9, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 9, 6 on the high E string, and then 6, 8 on B, and 7, 9 on high E. High E string coming down, 9, 7, 8, 6 down a string, and then drop your finger down a string, 6, 9, 5, 7. Up to 8, 6, down a string to the G string, 6, 4, down to 5 on the B string, 7 on the G string, sorry, 5, 7, 3, 6, then 6, 4, 5, 3, 3, 6, 2, 5, 5, 3, 4, 2, 2, 5, 1, 4, 4, 2, 3, 1. Sorry, I kind of screwed up that last one. But that should be enough to at least get you started. Now basically you're just coming up with ideas. You see that the patterns are symmetrical. You're just going to basically keep coming up with ideas over that and change the melody notes up and just figure out notes that don't work on the chord and do. So I hope this is helpful. If you like this lesson, please subscribe.